everyone to another Maz Play video. This is MazMojito, and today we're going to be playing Farthest Frontier. It's a game that I'm familiar with. I played it a couple times, so I know the basics of how to get around. But it's basically a city management type game. So we're going to set up a Pioneer, basically easy mode, and then we're going to go ahead and get started.
Life can be harsh everywhere, but in the old world, there was no hope of it ever improving. When our crops failed, the ruling class would still collect the same share, leaving our children to starve. And if we had any coin to our name, the taxman would appear, demanding it for the crown. The nobles hid behind the safety of their walls and did nothing when raiders pillaged the outskirts of the city. And so, some of us decided that it was time to leave, that we'd rather take our chances in the wilderness, seeking the promise of a new land, than starve to death in our homeland. The journey wasn't easy. We lost many along the way. This wild, unsettled land offers us the hope of a new start as the masters of our own destiny.
Okay, so as always, with these type of games, usually you're going to start off with a town center. Now, a key thing is to look out at the upper left corner. That will show you the resources in the area. So you always want to keep an eye out for that. More green is a better indicator of the surrounding area having better resources. More red, obviously the opposite effect. You also want to look out for those kind of hunter, or I should say, marauder type camps. I would not build next to those guys, so just kind of keep scrolling around and try to find an area that's relatively good with a lot of green areas to get resources from, but not too close to those marauders. Otherwise, they're just going to keep attacking your people when they're out gathering. So we're going to just kind of look around for a place on the opposite side of the marauders and start our town there. Right over here, our villagers are already offloading and starting to wait for instructions on what you need them to do. So right away, I'm going to start off with making sure my harvest is selected and selecting an area of resources for them to grab. Off the bat, you're going to have trees, stones, and other resources checked automatically. You can uncheck whatever you don't want them to gather, but everything highlighted in white is what they're going to work on. Also, as I show in the bottom left, you want to make sure that you speed up your harvesting speed to level 3 times, just so that you're not waiting all day as they go around and gather things. So right now I'm going to go ahead and prioritize what I want them to remove, just so that I have enough room to start building my town, my hamlet, I guess you could say, because initially you're going to start off very small. And although they're harvesting everything that I highlighted, certain things I'm checking as priority so that they get rid of those areas first and leave me a nice clean area around my town center to grow my town and start building my houses and roads and buildings. So I'm zooming in here a little bit so I can see if I can do a little bit better job of picking the specific trees that I want them to prioritize. but it's always a little difficult when you zoom in this much because you can't really get the outline of the items you're trying to check right away. So it's kind of like a trial and error moving the mouse around. So I got a couple things prioritized, and they're gonna work on gathering those resources first, and in turn clearing those areas first so that I can start building my town. So we're getting a message right off the bat saying there's a housing shortage. So we already know that because we're just trying to clear the town. So we're gonna start with laying down some houses, and I want to try to bunch them together, but I'm gonna run a road next to them just so that they can get resources delivered much faster. As you can see, there's a color scaling depending on the desirability of the land. So whenever you're building anything, the screen will change color to tell you how desirable the land is, and that'll dictate how fast your houses grow. And therefore, if they grow, they pay more taxes, which in turn gives you more gold. Got some immigrants here wanting to move in, so I always welcome new workers because we can use all the help we can get. House down, but that tree was kind of in the way, so okay, good. The guy moved it. So we have some areas here in the middle that I may need to flatten first. I can't put the houses down, so I'm gonna work on flattening those areas, and then I'm gonna come back and put those houses down that I was trying to put down. Okay, yep, I'll take the more workers. Right now what I'm doing is looking for a place to put a well, and as you can see, as I move the well around, certain houses turn green. That tells you the range at which this well is going to service houses. And that's one of the key things. Yep, I'll take you. That's one of the key things that you need to keep in mind is all the houses have basic needs to include water, close to a marketplace, food, etc. Eventually I want to unlock the marketplace, but there's a couple things that I have to build first before I can get access to that. So I'm just going to let them do their thing and build these houses. Got new villagers being born, so they're newborn, so they're not going to be able to help us as workers, but eventually that'll help if someone leaves or dies of old age or gets attacked. Okay, so we have a couple things that's blocking us from the market, which is basically a stockyard and a warehouse. So we're going to build the stockyard first. Just got to find a good place to put it. Before before we do that, we're gonna put some firewood splitters down, or at least one, because just like water, firewood is another resource that the people need in order to make the houses grow bigger. This pile of rocks is blocking where I want to put the firewood chopper. Lay some roads down. Okay, there's a blizzard coming, so just a warning. Now, when the blizzard usually comes in, people stop working and they just hide in the house. So, I'm trying to get as much done as I can before that happens. So, I'm gonna lay a couple roads down to make it a little bit more efficient for the workers to move around and get to places faster. Plus, it helps me with getting some boundaries down for the different buildings that I'm going to put down. I'll let the blizzard pass. With the speed up to number 3, that helps it make it go by a lot faster than normal. So all these houses need firewood. Apparently some of them don't need it right now because there's no red icons over them, or maybe because the houses are empty, so that's why there's no demand. Increase the number of firewood choppers we have. So looking at my city breakout, I don't have too many adults. I have 14. The rest, I don't know if the adolescents work or not, but there's not a lot of activity because we're waiting on the snow to pass, and then you'll start seeing workers come back out. In the meantime, I'll keep laying down some roads just to make it more efficient for the people to move around. All right, now you're starting to see people come out of their house, starting to get to work again. Many of them are just coming out to go pick up firewood to bring back to their house. All right, so we're out of the winter and we're moving on to the start of spring. So it looks like Sidman, little boy there, he didn't make it. Looks like he wasn't kept warm enough. So eventually we'll have to build a cemetery to move him to. As you can see, the villagers do not like seeing corpses. Okay, so we're going to find another area to start clearing so that we can start expanding our town to the right. Okay, we still don't have what we need to build a marketplace, so we're going to keep adding to our town and seeing if there's any resources around us, but I have the 2 spots there emptied out, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in these houses. graveyard built. So poor little Sidman there is going to get buried. As you can see, they just put a headstone down. Okay, now I'm going to be putting a stockyard down because that's one of the requirements for me to unlock a marketplace. So this will allow people to drop off resources without having to walk way back to the town hall or to the oxen cart that's in front of the town hall. And right next to them, I'm going to put a hunter's camp down so that they can start bringing in some resources for animal hide and meat. The problem is, no matter where I put this thing, this is such a bad area for hunting. Everything's red as far as the available animals. So I'll put it down for now and I'll see if I can move the hunting range to a different area of the map. I'm going to start putting my other food collectors down, my foragers. And the same thing with them. I can move the food collection areas around. I'm going to put my fishing shacks down by the water. I'm looking for at the percentage rate to see which one gives me a higher gathering efficiency, and that's where I'll put it down. So I got a couple new buildings being built. Yes, that's just a reminder telling me that you can move the work areas around if you need to, especially if the yellow circle work area, there's nothing in it worth getting anymore, or it's all empty. You can just then move it just like I'm doing now. Move that around until you find an area that does have resources, and you just look at the bottom of the screen. You'll see the different resources that pop up as you move the gathering circle around. We're looking for anything at this point. This is such a bad hunting area. We're looking for anything, even if it's just like a yellowish brown. Okay. The best area appears to be there's a couple trapping grounds, but looks like there's some areas where we can go hunt wolves. It's going to be a bit of a risk though because they're going to keep attacking our villagers. But we will get some hide out of that, and hide is important later in the game. So we're going to make sure our forager's work area is in an area where they have at least a couple green resources, foraging resources at the bottom. Time to decide. I did see an area where there was a lot of resources. We'll just leave them there for now. But as the seasons go by, the resources change too as far as what's available. And here we are, we're right back into the winter season again. So a lot of those resources that was available in the spring are probably no longer available. So up there is a wolf den. So we just every time villager goes up there to work, it's probably he or she's probably gonna get harassed and chased by a wolf, probably killed. So that's just something we gotta keep in mind. So at this point, I'm checking to see what else I need to build in order to unlock the marketplace. So the salt pit is another one, but you can see the red area around it. It's one of those undesirables as far as the building goes. So we don't want to put that next to the houses. So I'm gonna expand my road out to adjust for the new buildings that I just put down. So we got the saw pit, and we're out of the winter now. We just passed our first year. No, we're on year number 3. So every time we get past winter, that's a new year, basically. So that was our third time getting past winter. Now we're gonna adjust our resource gathering rings for our forager houses and everyone else. Make sure our fisheries are still doing what they need to do as far as bringing food in. We definitely need a Fletcher that's going to help us with hunting, and eventually we're going to have to build some security towers that's going to help with that too. Okay, so here's a very undesirable place, and that's the compost yard. So we're going to put that far out away from the city because we don't want that making the neighborhoods go down in value. That's really more of a late game building that you need when the houses start piling up rubbish and trash. For now, we're just putting it down there just so we knock it out early. So we have a bunch of professions here. I usually just let the game automatically select for me, but I can adjust it here if I need to. I think we're going to start putting some storehouses down, which I think is another one of the prerequisites, either for upgrading our town hall or unlocking the marketplace. And we're going to put a root cellar down because that's going to keep all of our fresh foods from expiring and turning to rot. Okay, we now have unlocked the marketplace with adding that storeroom, so that'll be the next thing that we work on building. Just gotta, as the same thing with the well, all the areas highlighted in green are the areas that are positively impacted by the marketplace. And the marketplace basically has a ring of influence. So ideally, what you want to do is put a marketplace in the center of a bunch of houses and build the houses around. But in this case, we're just going to pop it down there. Well, maybe just have to put 2 in just so that we can cover all the houses. So now we have 2 marketplaces down. That's going to cover the upper left and the upper right of the village area, the little hamlet. But we have big boulders there in the middle, so we want to get that cleared out so that we can make sure our road stretches all the way out past the marketplace. So our compost is built, but it's not doing anything because it requires gold to run, and you can't get gold until you have enough marketplaces out there collecting taxes. So that's another reason why the marketplaces are very important. Unless you luck out and find an area that has a gold mine resource that you can build a mine on top of. But So the saw pits, I'm gonna increase the number of people in there working because we need planks now to increase our town hall level. And once we increase our town hall level, we also need planks for the Fletchers too. So I'm just pretty much gonna go around, make sure all the buildings have the manpower they need, and increasing the number of slots they have. Some tracks down here, just so we have a lot of people out collecting resources, food and whatnot, and plus the food moves around from season to season, so be good to have multiple shacks out there collecting, especially since this is such a bad hunting area. Okay, so the root cellar is storing fish right now. There's little to nothing in that storeroom right now. Okay, so there's a message saying there are no more animals to hunt. So I'm gonna try to find an area where there's at least some trapping or something as I move around. The trapping is the last icon. Now I do see a little icon briefly for some deer. So I may have to move the hunting area there. Okay, so I'm gonna check on my foragers, make sure that they're built and their areas of collection are updated. Okay, so far so good. Everyone's busy. We still have some harvestable resources around here, and we have more people that want to join us. So yes, I will always take more people. We may have to prioritize moving some of these resources out the way so we can continue to expand. There's a deep sand deposit here, and there's a hawthorn bush. So we're short 17 planks, now 9 planks. So planks are very important right now, not only for the town center, but to finish the other marketplace. Saw pits are working at full capacity, and all our other areas are busy. Our stockyards collecting lumber, and our firewood splitters are doing their job. I don't think we need 2 anymore because we have a decent amount of firewood. So we're going to drop that down to 1. So now we have enough planks to, finish off that marketplace. That's built. I want to do a straight road here, but it's not allowing me to. Maybe because there was a pile of stone there that got harvested. So it's better than nothing, I guess. It's a little curvy, that road. Get it? So, all right. So we got our roads all set up. Everyone's busy. We've unlocked new buildings. We should put a basket shop down because that's going to make our people work faster, especially the foragers. Put that down up there. And we're gonna go ahead and put a cobble shop there so they can make some shoes, which is a luxury item. Okay, and we're gonna put a tannery, which people really hate desirability wise, way over by the compost heap. You'll need that for making shoes and clothes, but no one wants to smell the tanning pits where they're scraping leather and dyeing them with acids and stuff. All right, so moving on, we're gonna be looking at putting some more forager shacks down because again, this is such a bad hunting area. We really need to just rely on the foragers to go out and get food for us and the fishers to bring in fish. Continue connecting the roads so that the workers can get to the buildings a lot faster. I don't like that curve, but I guess it's just part of it, depending on how the land is. So far, the foragers are all bringing something in, resource-wise. Some of the resources are still grayed out, so it must not be the season for them. Tannery is not really busy because there's very little animals to hunt. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our town center now that we met all of our requirements. Uh, but one of the things I want to do before we do that is actually drop a shrine down because they said that's the only thing our people are missing, some spirituality. So we're going to find a good spot where we get as many houses green as possible and drop that shrine down. So this will probably be another building that we should look at putting in the center of a bunch of houses, just like the marketplace, so that you get the best bang for your buck, desirability wise. Okay, so the foragers are all gathering. There's some areas up there with some green areas to forage, so we're gonna move that work ring up there. Okay, so we got alert for another blizzard coming, which means no workers doing anything. So we'll just keep making sure that all of our work area rings are put down to where they're getting something. Because naturally, when that blizzard hits, a lot of things will get cut off or go away. So we have our shrine down. And another blizzard. Okay, so the cobbler shop's not doing much. There's probably some items they need from a hunter, but the hunter has very little resources to gather from. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a watchtower down just for some safety. So if anything comes in here threatening our villagers and they pass through that ring, at least they'll get shot at with some bows and arrows. So that's going to be helpful, especially with the wolf den up in the upper right, and they like to attack our gatherers. Now the downside is they're expensive to build. They cost gold, and that's not something I have a lot of right now. At least, as you can see, there's some villagers running now, getting attacked by a wolf. And the wolf just took one guy out, but our villagers got together and took the wolf out. So now there's a skin or a hide on the ground to pick up. So they're going to pick up the dead body and take them to the cemetery. All right, so our tower is built. Now we just need those resources that are highlighted in red, which is basically from the Fletcher. The tower is not built because they still need planks. This tower is built. They just need resources as well. We have more immigrants. I will always take the workers. Predators are attacking, so that must be the wolves. So as you'll see, when they get close to our towers, the towers will take them out. Bam, dead. And our gatherer can go back to doing whatever they were doing. Okay, I want to put a barracks down to give us even more security. And I'm trying to see, it looks like it doesn't impact the areas negatively. But boy, is it expensive. I don't have enough gold to put it down. But it's nice to see. It would have been a nice little defense circle around it. I just don't have the money to put it down. So we'll cancel that. We have some other defensive options here. A gate, a wall. But again, all that costs money and resources that I don't have. Probably put some walls up eventually, some decorations to make our houses grow bigger. But these are all things we'll probably come back to. Even a windmill, so that we can, when we start building some farms and bakery, we have quite a few things we can put in now that we've unlocked since we upgraded our town center. So we'll expand our town a little bit more because more houses equal more taxes equals more gold. Right now, there's an exclamation point on the gold, just saying that we're short. I think we'll put a trading post down here. Maybe that'll be a quick way to get some gold if we have some excess materials we can sell. It's pretty busy. Foragers do have some areas. They are gathering some materials. That one's gathering 3 materials. That one has 3. according to their screen there, or what they're currently harvesting. There's two there, or three. And we still have people busy at the saw pit, knocking out planks. So we may need to harvest some more lumber just so that we can make more planks. Put school down, but I don't think we have enough money. But that has the same effect as the marketplace. As you can see, the areas turn green. But we don't have enough gold to put that down. Instead, we'll build more roads and try to connect them up. And we can't connect that road. Okay, we can. Problem is there's a sand pit right there. So by putting the road there, I don't know if I'll be able to put a mine on top of the sand pit. So for now, what I need to do, even to build a pit, is I need a wagon shop. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that down. Okay, we have our trading posts up and operational, so they should be bringing in some gold, or at least give us an opportunity to sell excess resources for gold. So we have the help menu there. That's the question mark that's flashing. We can turn that on and off. Right now, we really don't have anything that we want to sell because we need all our resources right now. The shop is built. Now we should be able to build a sand pit so we can start harvesting the sand. But it looks like the road is blocking placement. So we'll have to delete the road in order to put the sand down, the sand pit down or whatever. Then that way we can use the wagons to start hauling cart loads and we can sell that at the marketplace. I didn't remove enough apparently because I still can't put it down. So we'll have to figure out what else we have to move. Hopefully, the good thing about this game is you can just move things. You don't have to just demo them all the time, except for roads. And the school is being built, but it's short on resources. So I think right now this is a good place where we can stop and we'll just put a bookmark in it. We'll come back and we'll keep building up our town and go from there. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.